This is the virtual Scottish Highlands. Behind me you can see a map of our 4 sims. But it started as a simple project on the mainland. I had had a stroke and therefore I was compelled to work with my computer. I'm now completely recovered, by the way. So I looked at whether we could bring tourism into Second Life and maybe use Second Life to promote the real Highlands. So initially a small area on the mainland, but in February 2009 we bought our first sim islands and started to really do this job properly and professionally. It's an interesting project in that we're trying to bring real businesses into Second Life, educate people about the Highlands of Scotland. So we have multiple projects going on here, and I suggest we now move to another location. It was difficult to know exactly how to use Second Life to best advantage, and I'd always wanted to put my Nessie Hunt board game into a situation where it could be played in 3D. So we used the Nessie Hunt game in order to attract people here. We realised that if we could get people to come and play a game, then they may spend money in the shops that we were creating around the game area. This is the Nessie Hunt headquarters. People can join the game here by clicking on the research leader standing behind me, and then they're taken all over the sim to learn about Loch Ness, its environment, its wildlife, its real wildlife, as well as hunting for the Loch Ness monster, which gives it a fun appeal as well. That works very well. We have hundreds of people play the game each month. But we also wanted to cover heritage and history within our virtual Scottish Highlands. This is one of our real-life exhibitions that we brought into Second Life. This is the Loch Ness exhibition, which may make you think that it's full of all that monster rubbish, but in fact we really tell an interesting story here. Just come in. You can see on the walls to your left that we have the geological fault line origins of the Great Glen of Scotland, showing how the land actually moved 65 miles 380 million years ago. We cover the movement of the continents, and you can see that in the second panel. We also bring in the ice ages in the third panel, and we show some of the evidence for that in our fourth panel here. And what we've done with these exhibition panels is we've added note cards to each of them so that people can take the information away and then digest it at his leisure. And yes, around this next corner it does get into the Loch Ness monster, but that is for another day. Now we've moved to an undersized reproduction of Fort Augustus Abbey, a real building at the head of Loch Ness. And what we've done within the Abbey is provide the story of Scotland. We actually take it from prehistory right up to present day. And again, we've used panels and some video and note cards with every panel so that the history that we cover in the panels can be covered in a much more detail within the note cards. And now I want to show you what we're planning to do with many of these historic buildings in the future. We're now standing in a reproduction of Glengarry in our fourth sim, and behind me you can see Glengarry Castle as it is today, under scale, and this is a ruin today. But wouldn't it be great to be able to walk around it as it was in 1671? Now we're going to teleport to a sky area here. We're now in the Glengarry Sky Building. At my feet here you can see part of our new heritage game that we're working on. That should be up and running within about a month or so. But over my right shoulder you can see the ruin of Glengarry Castle. Let's just head over in that direction. Only this time it is full size. This is a full size mock-up of the ruin. But what we've also got here is the castle as it was in 1671, and you can see that over on this side. Again, this is a full-size reproduction of the castle as it was in 1671. If we go inside, you'll see there's a full exhibition in here of the castle and its history. And the plan is to repeat this throughout the Highlands of Scotland with all of the castles. Imagine the historic ruin of famous Urquhart Castle on Loch Ness as it was in the 14th century. Imagine going and seeing Cawdor Castle in the 15th century. That's what we want to try and achieve, and is part of our project. And I hope you'll all be able to come along and I'll tell you more about what we're doing and give you a proper guided tour.